Cruz Azul absolutely destroyed Arque FC, making up for the struggles against them last game, where I was actually surprised they didn't even get one goal. But this time, they made sure to assert themselves in the return leg at home. They made it look easy, dominating the game from the start. They peppered that Haitian goal with 28 shots in the whole game, getting 3 goals in the first half and 5 in the second. Que goliza! When it rains, it pours. And Arquea were powerless to stop the hemorrhaging of goals and could only watch in horror as their debut ended in the worst possible way. So, Cruz Azul are the team to advance, and so for my prediction scorecard, that's 1 out of 8 so far. Another thumping. This time it was Marathon on the receiving end at the hands of Portland Timbers, who also played very well at home. Yumi Chara having a spectacular game, getting himself a hat trick, scoring the first 2 goals of the half. Now, Marathon also did well at first, and it was a little back and forth. In fact, right after Portland's first goal, Marathon had a good chance to equalize, but it was off target. Then Portland shifted into second gear and got chance after chance. Not all found the back of the net, but they did find their second goal at the 36th minute. And in the second half, Portland did not take their foot off the gas, just the opposite, attacking Marathon again and again, getting 3 more goals by Valeri, Loria, and Chara to seal his hat trick. Fantastic performance for him, and massive props to Portland for not dropping off despite having a big lead like most other teams would have. The game finished 5 to nothing, and honestly, could have been more. Portland did miss a couple of sitters, but hey, doesn't matter. They made it through to the quarterfinals. And so again, for my prediction scorecard is now 2 for 8. So far, so good. And the Costa Rican team came out swinging, really pressuring Atlanta early on, looking for that equalizer on aggregate. But once again, Atlanta's goalkeeper Novo did what he had to do and really showed up in this game. Very good stuff from the young dual national. Bello did struggle on that left side defensively. Here he is getting his ankles broken by a skillful Costa Rican player who leaves him on the ground. Robinson, on the other hand, was much more solid defensively, being part of that back three. And for the second half, Atlanta stepped it up and started attacking more. However, Alajuelense wasn't giving up yet either. Here, sub Jurgen Damm, who later really impacted the game, gets in trouble defensively and ends up losing the ball in a dangerous position. And Alajuelense almost get a goal, but their shot ends up inches wide. They had another big chance when they get a great pass through the middle and it makes it past the last Atlanta defender, but somehow, for some strange, baffling reason, the Alajuelense player also completely misses it. How? I have no idea, but extremely fortunate for Atlanta. But now in stoppage time, Barco finds himself with the ball and plenty of space. He does well to get past the keeper, and here comes Dam, the sub that we mentioned earlier, and he ends up putting it away. Barco could have finished it himself, but once he saw Dam coming in, he just left it for him. So very unselfish of him. Atlanta make it through 2-0 on aggregate, and once again, my prediction is right on the money. Scorecard is now 3 out of 8. From the huge blowouts of the previous games, we get this exciting matchup that went down to the last minute of stoppage time, with all of us glued to the screen wondering what was going to happen. Leon did start the game well and was able to create chances in the final third, but nothing was really able to come from it. Toronto were really starting to lose control of the game, but were able to recover very well with efficient pressing in the midfield. As soon as a Leon player would touch the ball in the midfield, he would quickly be overrun by Toronto defenders. This would lead to them playing it back or losing possession. Either way, it disrupted Leon's attacking play, and they really couldn't progress the ball to the final third because of it. And Toronto were able to start mounting attacks of their own, and even got a goal from an Okello header, but it was incorrectly ruled out as offsides by the officials. And Okello played very well, not only in attack, but getting in good positions like he did here, but also in defense, constantly dropping back and participating in that effective pressing system. Very good stuff for him. This is how it went for the rest of the first half and most of the second as well. Toronto finally finding their goal at the 55th minute. Schaffelberg gets a great pass to Mullins, who has a wide open shot right in front of goal. Puts it away easily, and Toronto end up 1-0. Leon continued to sleepwalk their way through the game despite being down, and spent more time defending in their own half than trying to attack Toronto. And Toronto were able to get that second goal. It was, once again, due to a turnover by Leon in a dangerous position that happened thanks to the great pressing by Toronto. They get a pass straight through the middle, and Morrow collides with the goalkeeper, but the ball comes off him as he falls and it goes in. And it was after this that Leon finally came to life and started really pushing forward and attacking Toronto head on. Toronto did drop off a bit as well and allowed Leon to have the ball, which was a bit of a mistake as it led to Leon getting a goal back at the 80th minute. But for some reason, Toronto's goalkeeper then jumps on the ball and holds onto it. The goal was already done, so literally no reason for him to grab the ball like that as if he was making a save. He just did it, of course, to keep Leon from getting the ball to waste time. Honestly, really did surprise me they didn't get a yellow card for it. But Leon did keep coming back, desperate for that second goal, which would be the winner for them on aggregate on away goals. But Toronto were able to hold on with some Concacaf shenanigans and time wasting. But it worked out for them, and they saw out the win. So as a result, Toronto make it through and give my prediction scorecard its first L. Puras fallas, raza, puras fallas. Hacen quedar mal a alguno. No, hombre. America surprisingly struggled quite a bit against Olympia, and at home, I might add. And Olympia away from home were absolutely fearless against America, mounting several attacks that America were actually quite lucky didn't end with a goal. And when America did attack, the Olympian defense was equal to it. 5 minutes into the second half, Olympia got the goal after some terrible defending by America. Olympia get a pass in, and the players able to put it away easily. And despite America's attempts, they could not break down Olympia's solid defense. But as the game went on, Olympia were also unable to find the winner despite having some great last minute chances. So, America managed to survive by the skin of their teeth and make it through to the quarterfinals de puro panzazo. But thanks to that, my prediction scorecard does not take another hit and is now 4-1 out of 8. Before we move on, just a quick reminder to go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and absolutely annihilate that notifications button. Do it! Do it now!
Do it.
If you did it, great. Now let's move on. So this is the first game that had fans finally back in. It was reduced capacity, of course, but still, having live fans really had an impact. It was great hearing them throughout the game. It was especially hilarious to hear them boo every time Ricardo Blanco touched the ball. He was the Saprissa player that made that late tackle at the end of the first leg, so fans really made sure he knew how they felt about that in this game. The first half was pretty quiet, but definitely had some chances, mostly from the Union, who attacked well but couldn't find the back of the net. The second half was very different, as right off the bat, at the 46th minute, Anthony Fontana is able to draw the foul right on the line of the penalty box, and the ref does give the penalty, which Montero is able to then convert easily, giving the Union their first goal. And about 5 minutes later, the Union get their second of the game, this time from a corner kick taken by Montero. Shabilko is the one who gets a good header, and it finds the back of the net. So the scorer of the first goal in this game and the scorer of the only goal of the last game combined together here to further the Union's lead. And then again, less than 5 minutes later, the Union get another goal. Once again, Montero getting the assist, a quick turn, pass to Fontana, who made a great run past the defenders, 1v1 with the keeper, and he puts it past him. Great work by Fontana, who was working hard all game and finally gets his goal. He is one of the young players I mentioned to watch out for in this upcoming MLS season, and he showed why here. Then at the 90th minute, Montero gets the ball after a terrible clearance by a Saprissa defender, and he runs straight into the box and gets his second of the night. 2 goals and 2 assists. What a game for him. And so Philly coast their way into the quarterfinals. Their debut in this competition is going just as their fans have hoped. My prediction scorecard is now 5-1. So the Crew started with a heavily rotated lineup this time, as they were up by 4 goals, and they figured they could just give some minutes to other players. One of them was Abubakar Keita, so I was interested to see how he would do, and for the most part, he was okay. He did do well defensively, and in possession, he was okay when he had all the time in the world to make a pass, but he did look a little shaky when he came under some pressure. His long ball passing can improve as well. And he was eventually subbed off at the 61st minute, but overall, good game for him. And so this game was pretty quiet. Not a whole lot happening the first half, no real meaningful chances at either end of the pitch. Second half went pretty much the same more or less, except here we got a goal. The only goal of the game, and it was for the Crew at the 86th minute. Midfielder Zelarayan finds Wright Phillips with a great pass down the middle, and Phillips does a good job with defenders trying to close him down, but he stays calm, sends the keeper the wrong way, and gets himself a goal. Great job by him. And so the crew advance. No real surprise here, considering how the first leg went. My prediction scorecard is back on track and is now 6-1. So Monterrey come into this game already up by 3. But right from the get-go, they are already attacking Atletico looking for more. And within 2 minutes, already get a good chance, but the keeper keeps it out. But just a few minutes later, Monterrey get their first of this game from a corner kick. Defender Saucedo with a free header and puts it in. But Monterrey keep on pushing forward, unsatisfied with the 4 goals on aggregate, and at the 14th minute, they get another. Great pass by Gutierrez to Jansen, who perfectly times his run, and with his first touch, puts the ball in the back of the net. Crisp, clean finish, absolute superb. And in the second half, Monterrey keep on coming, almost getting another goal at the beginning, but it ends up barely wide. But then it's Atletico that sliced through Monterrey with some precision passing through the midfield, and it ends with striker Cabrera 1v1 with the keeper, who is unable to stop him, and Atletico get one back. It was, of course, just a consolation goal, as Monterrey were miles ahead by this point, but still a good play by Atletico. However, Monterrey had to assert themselves once more and get another goal just before the 80th minute. Game finished with Monterrey leading 6-1 on aggregate, and with that, they continue on to the quarterfinal. And by doing so, they give my prediction scorecard its second L. Yes, it was foolish of me to bet against Monterrey, but I already explained why in the last video. But I still have to take the L, and that gives me the final score of 6-2 out of 8. Hey, not too bad to get all but 2 right. All right, that's it for the recap of the second leg of the Concacaf Champions League round of 16. Look out for my predictions video about the quarterfinals coming out next. Let me know what your predictions were, what you got right, what you got wrong. Thanks for watching. This is American Soccer United, the place where American soccer fans unite.